Hi, everyone. This is Messages for Lightworkers, episode 121. And I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Marina, Heart-Centered Tarot, my fabulous co-host.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm so glad to have you here after experiencing one time when you were. After all these,
Yes.
I got a little spoiled.
Yes. Yeah.
I have to say you were missed by,
thank you.
by people in the chat and myself.
Aw. Thank you. And you know what? I missed everyone. I really felt like, part of me was missing. This community is important to me.
This community is important.
The energy and everything else that comes with it. It just grows and grows and grows. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, Mary Alice. Hello, Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Mary Alice. I should have put something on my post page to let everybody know, but because here we are, though.
Here we are.
Every week, Messages for Lightworkers. Yes. Episode 121. I can't believe it. It's so amazing.
121 Thursdays in a row. We have been sharing messages. And considering that there are 52 Thursdays generally in a year, that's well over 2 years.
It really is. It really is. It's a long time. And we got a little bit of a pat on the back from the guides today because they said that the components that we're putting together on these shows, every show, are of the utmost importance now. And they came in to say that the heart-mind coherence is the key for all of us next, to make sure that we are working on that component to everything. So I want to say hi to Lauren too. Lauren, thanks for being here. So this is a really powerful time, as we all know, and we feel the intensity. We feel everything even ramping up more. So
yes,
this may be why they're really putting out the message for that heart-mind coherence. And it really coincides beautifully, Marina, with your message. So please go ahead and share with us what your message is.
Well, alrighty then. So as I was telling Val, the cards that I pulled today are from the Sacred Geometry Activation deck. And it's a deck that I don't use all that often. And yet today that's the one that I was drawn to. And so along with Val's message, the first card that came out was belief. Mm-hmm. And the message of belief is the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. So it rather like confirmation that, we are part of source. We did this, sometimes we need to be reminded that we are. Mm-hmm. And this is just saying, you're part of source. You do have gifts and talents, and you're not imagining it, right?
That's right.
So the next card out was synergy. And I love the colors that are here. They're really lovely. And this is a little bit of a longer message, but it absolutely works. Mm-hmm. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that the new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality.
Wow. I love that. That is just so important. So important now. those are beautiful, beautiful.
Exactly. And the last one that I got was delight. Delight. And lovely message. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others.
Oh.
And yeah, this kind of, in some ways, it does confirm, that we believe that what we put out is going to come back to us.
Yes.
Right. And this is just kind of confirmation that, yes, you are a child of the universe. You are part of this. It's not your imagination. You do have talents. Take delight in that. Even during those times when synergistically you might be challenged. You might think, oh, everybody else is tuned in and is able to, to meditate, and they can manifest all kinds of things, and it's not working for me.
Right, exactly.
You may not see it.
It is. You can't not. I mean, you're alive. All your gifts are flowing through you, and you just don't realize what they are when it's happening.
Yes, and, exactly.
Yeah, it's just you can't not. You're alive on the planet, so
totally
your gifts are streaming through. And I just want to say hi to Lois, Dorothy, a Divine Empathic Tarot. Nice of you to join us.
Absolutely.
And, Coyote Rosenbaum, Linda. And Lisa. Yeah, Lisa, thank you for joining us. So so
and just Divine Empathic Tarot, please stay with us. Although we don't do readings in this particular show. This is, we share the messages for that we receive from Spirit to kind of, help people along the way. So there are many other shows that we do that are that we can do readings on. So don't, just because we don't do readings, don't leave. Don't leave.
Exactly.
Make sure that
in essence, what we're doing is giving a big reading to all of you.
Yes.
Is for the community in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, you guys, like, share, and subscribe.
That's right. That's right. Like, share, and subscribe to Heart Centered Tarot, and book a reading with Marina at Marina's HeartCenteredTarot.com.
Yes.
You can sign up for classes and book readings. So I highly recommend that you do that, especially in this crazy year we're having. It might be nice. And I want to say hi to Butterfly Readings with Linda and Venus. God, you could join us.
Yeah. And do the same thing when you go over to Val, when you're on Val's channel. Check out the classes and things that she's got on offer, because I have yet to run across anyone who has taken Val's Akashic reading class. And when you ask them, how was it? They go, yeah, all right. No, everyone is really excited and like, oh my gosh. So
thank you, Marina. I do have to sit down and schedule out the next set of classes, because I am in the middle of psychic mediumship classes with Allie of Heart and All Connected. So I'll do that in the next few weeks, so you can check back on that. And thank you for that. And all of you, thank you for joining us. I know there's a lot of things going on right now. And I know a lot of people will end up watching on the replay, and that's fine, because that's what we're here for. The message is good no matter when you hear it. And Redheads United.
Yes.
Absolutely. That is absolutely true. Hi, Book. Hi, Garnet. So this message that I got from the Messages for Lightworkers guides who put us together and started this show. We're just I was going to say we're the pawns. No, we're the channels for They own us, and we're.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing even way back when Val and I had done one show together, and I think we were on somebody else's channel, and it was like, oh hi, I think, okay, and both of us had previous to our meeting had received messages that as we kind of got to know each other, and yeah, Val, would you like to come on my channel, and blah 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 blah, and all of a sudden, boom, there it was.
It was already in the works. We just didn't realize it.
Yes, exactly.
Here we are, like 121 episodes later.
Yes.
And I want to say hi to Amanda Carroll. Hi, Rebecca. And Book. Nice of you all to join us. And the message I got really coincides beautifully with Marina's. In fact, it just dovetails perfectly. And that is the heart-mind coherence. The guides are saying this is key right now, where we need to go next. And that it heart and mind, you could say heart-brain coherence, refers to a state of alignment between the heart and the brain, where your emotions, thoughts, and physiological rhythms harmonize. This state creates a profound sense of inner balance, clarity, and peace. It's not just metaphorical. Research by institutes such as Heart Math, MATH, Institute shows that when we are in this coherent state, our heart rhythm becomes more stable, sending positive signals to the brain. This improves mental clarity, emotional stability, intuition, and overall well-being. In simpler terms, heart-mind coherence is when you're thinking with your heart and feeling with your mind, operating from a unified intelligence. And so you can all find Heart Math, MATH, on YouTube. They have their own channel. And I'm sure you can find even one of those meditations. There's a bunch of heart and mind coherence meditations out there to help you understand how to do it. And you can do it on your own. You don't need a meditation. But I just happen to have here a heart-mind coherence calibration. We're going to calibrate ourselves to function that way right now. We're going to step into this short guided meditation just to activate this within us. But before we do that, they're coming through with truth be told. So you're seeing the real perspective or view of what is going on, and with wisdom, with that owl saying, here it is. Here's the doorway to clarity and the truth. And it's funny, they say, time to take a nap. I mean, when you are activated and something is happening, sometimes it's best to go pause and reflect. So that is just something we all have happen in life. Nobody has a smooth, smooth ride. Life throws things in our way, because at the end you hit Treasure Island. That is your heart, the gateway to all that is. So additionally, they're bringing through the order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek is also known as Archangel Metatron. So there is a lot of activating energy with us today, including the Hathor light codes, which is all about the goddess Sekhmet, the goddess Hathor, and even Isis, all that goddess energy, and the ancestral realm, releasing karmic stories, healing that lineage, creating boundaries, letting go of that old and starting the new cycle without being in the 3D. So we're going to start this guided meditation just by get comfortable. And if you're in the car, don't do this.
No, not while driving.
Not while operating machinery. So just, if you can, just settle in and take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale through your mouth. And again, inhale deeply. And exhale through your mouth. And one more time, inhale deeply through your nose. And exhale slowly through your mouth. Let your body relax, releasing any tension in your shoulders, jaw, or hands. Now slowly bring your attention and awareness to your heart space, the center of your chest. Imagine your breath flowing in and out through your heart. Breathe into your heart and exhale from your heart. Let this rhythm settle. Slow, steady, heart-centered breathing. Now begin to feel a sense of gratitude or appreciation. You might recall a moment, a person, or even a place that brings you peace or love. Feel it in your heart. Let the feeling expand, warm, gentle, calm. Breathe in that appreciation and breathe out any heaviness. As you continue this heart-centered breathing, imagine a soft golden light glowing in your chest, your heart center. With each inhale, the light grows brighter. With each exhale, the light expands outward toward your mind, your body, your energy field. Now bring your awareness to your mind, your thoughts, your awareness, the space behind your eyes. Without judgment, notice your thoughts. Let them slow like clouds drifting through the sky. Now imagine a bridge of light connecting your heart to your mind. A radiant beam of golden energy flowing freely. With every breath, this bridge strengthens. Your heart sends wisdom, calm, and love to your mind. Your mind responds with clarity, presence, and trust. In this state, feel your heart and mind speaking the same language, cooperating, co-creating, guiding you with unity. You are whole. You are balanced. You are in coherence. Breathe into this state for the next few moments in silence. And when you are ready, slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Open your eyes when you're ready. My heart and mind are in harmony. I listen to my inner wisdom with trust and love. And that is our heart-mind coherence meditation, recalibrating us and hooking us up to this energy. That is our natural state. Thank you. So
I love it. Thank you, Val. That was wonderful.
Oh, good.
Your meditations always are. and hello to Arthur for having joined us. Arthur does some fabulous
my gosh
on his channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you guys are not subscribed to Arthur Ease Your Mind, what's wrong with you?
I mean, Arthur Ease Your Mind has
Yes.
You can buy those meditations. You can buy them on iTunes. So go there now and buy them so that you'll have them in your collection. No matter where you are, you're going to click on these and you're going to utilize them when you need that extra help. And there is something for everything.
Yes, absolutely.
And it is so transcendent. You're going to really transcend where you're at from doing those meditations. They really work. They really work. So
absolutely,
definitely do that. And, there's hundreds really on his website.
Yes.
Arthur Ease Your Mind to, take to the time to whatever you're going through, go there first, look and see what you can do.
Yes.
It's going to steer you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yes, Linda, Arthur is so
Arthur is so freaking amazing. Yes, Linda. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, this is just something that you all have a tool, tools out there on Arthur Ease Your Mind. It's going to help you no matter what you're going through. Go grab, something. But I'll encourage you to buy those meditations on, I think it's also on Spotify, but please go buy them on iTunes because it supports Arthur and the development of even more of these wonderful gifts that he's creating that we transcend the energy that we're in and move forward by leaps and bounds by doing this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Amanda Carroll says, so love his meditations. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
So wonderful.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can't believe we've only been doing this for 22 minutes.
I know it feels like
I'm done. I don't know.
It feels like much, much longer.
It does because it feels like I'm done. I don't even have anything more to talk about. But
well, what I can kind of bring up, and particularly with the cards that came out, and Val and I were talking about this before we went live, in that as most of you know, I had an awful week the first of the month. April Fools got me really, really bad. So yeah, I couldn't access StreamYard. I was offline. I couldn't get my computer to do what I needed it to do. And it was just a whole big rigmarole. And what I found was that it was so easy to kind of jump back into part of the 3D world where I felt helpless. Without any knowledge. I'd never seen a computer before. How do you turn this thing on? Where's the on and off button? And just it was so easy to go down that path and to almost go down different rabbit holes. And there were times when being in that in those rabbit holes almost felt comfortable. And I had to remind myself that everything is an illusion. This was the universe's way of pointing out to me that maybe I had let go of a lot of things, but maybe there were more things that I needed to let go of. Yeah. And that it would, I needed to concentrate on staying in that higher realm. and not give in to the fantasy of what I had created for myself, which was helplessness, you know, losing faith in what I was doing, and so on. It really kind of went through the ringer, but at the same time, you know, it was a learning experience. Once I was able to kind of, you know, sometimes when you have to reach up to touch the bottom, yeah, it was kind of like one of those. And when I peered over it with the top, it was like, oh, wait, hold on.
You know, when you're in the deep, it's kind of
yes.
You don't really see, you're not pushing on the bottom to raise your head up and
yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it reminded me that, you know, how some things are obvious to some people, and we can't understand why they're not obvious to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think being in that mindset, in that frame of mind, you know, it's I don't have to take responsibility for anything. I can, you know, I'm going to rely on others to do things for me, and I'm just, you know, I'm just a senior citizen, really, who shouldn't have access to a computer and you know, all those things that go on. So it just made it a little easier to understand those folks that are settled in there, right? And maybe in a strange way, to kind of remind me to view those people with the same amount of compassion that I would want to be shown to me, or that I needed to show myself.
Yeah, I love that as an example, that it does remind us to have compassion for somebody who's making those choices in their life, to be sort of the victim of this, and that you know, whatever it is. And you know, we all have those moments where we fall into that kind of a self-defeating loop. We are not, you know, we are not like already ascended. We're gonna go through these cycles of looking at all these things. It's going to happen occasionally to every one of us.
Yes.
Every one of us are going to revisit some of these things, and it's good to see it from all perspectives, like you have, Marina, that what you've learned from that experience. And going forward, when you're reading for people, how much easier it is having just freshly gone through it.
Yes.
You really get it, and you get how to help people pop out of that.
Exactly.
So it's very helpful. Very helpful.
Very much so.
It doesn't get
the Geek Squad are awesome people. I cannot say enough good things about what they were able to do for me. And more than anything else, it wasn't that they were able to solve my problem, but they did it with such compassion, and they didn't roll their eyes at me. They didn't kind of snicker or like, oh my God, this is so easy. What do you mean you don't know how to change the font on your computer? And I got to that point that it was like,
because your brain shuts down.
Yes.
When you are in that anxiety state, when you are in that stressed out state, your mind shuts down. You can't think. Yes. That is why it feels like you can't remember how to shut a computer off, how to change your phone. You can't access that information right now.
No. No, because there was just a lot of other things that were, maybe a little bit self-defeating that were, that were kind of part of that.
The emotions that come up are where you are in the deep emotion and not in the intellectual center of.
Yes. Yeah. And we had talked about this as well in terms of how each one of us responds to things differently.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And some people are intellectual and they'll think of the logical steps no matter what. When something blows up or whatever, they'll go right to their intellect and reason it out. Some people go right to their emotions and go into the and then they can't think because they're not in their intellectual center. They're in their emotional body, their emotional center.
Yes.
So, and some people, the third is the action. You go to action. Some people, when something happens, they start pushing all the buttons. They don't know what they're doing. They didn't reason it out, but they're going to take action. They're going to take any action they can.
Yes.
Or they're going to go run a mile outside. It's moving. It's moving center, being in the moving center. So you have those three and you know which one you are. And then it's funny. You go from, like, I'm emotionally centered. I go to my head next. I get emotional. Then maybe later I can think about it. Then I go to the action. And some of us go, all the different ways you can go. And it's good to know how you react to things so you can know your normal reaction instead of getting all emotional or verklempt. Maybe you want to go to your intellectual center.
Just take a moment, take a couple deep breaths and go, okay. All right. But and the book says, her son was a member of the Geek Squad while he was in university.
Nice.
Their pay is very poor. That I'm sorry to hear that, because considering what they do, I don't know what the pay scale is like in the US versus Canada and all that kind of stuff. But the things that they do, the services that they provide, I hesitated for a few minutes while I was debating whether or not I wanted to buy the membership or just pay for the service. And I'm really glad that I decided to go with the membership.
That's good.
And I think it's something that I will continue to.
That's good. That's good, because you can always take your computer in there.
Exactly. Exactly. Hand it over and say, is broken. Fix it. Fix it. Yeah.
I had to do that, and I went down to the Geek Squad when I got my brand new laptop, brand new Z HP laptop. Wouldn't work. I mean, it had all kinds of things wrong with it. They had to delete the operating system and download a new operating system. I could not have done that. They had to do it because they had to get authorization through HP to go in there and do this. So that was nice. They did it, and now it's still working.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So and again, kind of going back to some of the lessons, and I think that some of them are just going to keep coming up for me as they're meant to come up, rather than kind of hitting me all at once. One of the other lessons was, it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
It's absolutely okay to ask for help.
Yes.
And, I recognizing that I don't know everything. And, what I thought I knew yesterday, well, that worked yesterday. Today might be a little different. So, be willing to trust someone else with what it is that you're going through.
Right.
And Yeah.
Especially if you can't think yet. So go to somebody else who can. Who can think.
Yes. And
that's what I do.
Totally. Yeah. And isn't it amazing that sometimes we forget that when we go down that path, when we ask for help, or when we don't ask for help, we are depriving someone else of fulfilling their destiny, which is to be of service.
Absolutely. To be of service and to feel like they have valuable information to share, which is a really great thing, that to have somebody come and ask you things like that as someone who knows something about a particular thing, that is really nice to have that. So you don't want to. And I want to just put this up here. Rose Blue. Oh my gosh. Sorry about your dad's early Alzheimer's. Yeah, you didn't get anxious. That's good. Saturday, called him saying, I want to move in. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Rose
Totally.
Blue. Yeah. My
totally.
God.
And, Rose Blue, I remember how much of a struggle this was for you last year, maybe even the year before, as you were trying to navigate and, should I move in and should I do this and should I do that? There you go. The opportunity has presented itself, and everyone is now on board. Everyone is saying yes.
Absolutely. And, they have great drugs out now for Alzheimer's to slow it down. So that is great news. And they're getting closer to figuring things out even more about even curing it and reversing it. So they're working on that right now. So there are medications that slow it down. So that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yes, your brother doesn't have to pay for a housekeeping service. You can do that. It makes it easier for him knowing that there is family that is taking care of family. So it's like a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely. I think everything that we talked about today really is going to help us from today onwards as crazy things happen, as energy intensifies, and when we have things happen in our own life, we can go to our coping strategies that we know in advance to stay centered and balanced, and to get all of our ducks in a row and understand breathing, the heart-mind coherence, that before you react to something, go in and go through that breathing and that gateway of being in the heart center. And this will be very helpful so that you don't have to go through a week or 2 weeks or a month or however long of being feeling like you have a problem you can't solve, or this is something that we all, for me, on occasion we go through this.
Yes.
And Arthur says, no, we are in Mercury in retrograde.
Oh, yeah. Arthur, I've said before,
it was a bad one.
This one kicked my butt, took names, pictures, and applied for an injunction against me. So this one was painful.
It was painful. And the beauty of it, though, is you get to share it. You're sharing it here, being vulnerable and sharing what you went through. Of course, I've gone through that plenty. Exactly what you're talking about with my tech problems. And I get a little bit of a meltdown. And so now I've had to just ease into those kind of things and not, whatever happens. And, even if I have shows or things scheduled, or I'm supposed to do readings or whatever, and something happens, it's okay.
Yes.
Things can be rescheduled. Things can happen without you there. It's going to all work out.
Absolutely.
It's going to all work out.
Yeah, the support that I have received from this community has been absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that you really, yes, yeah, just tell them get off the ground. Yes. For something else. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. Yes, Maureen. Yes. Oh, yes, ma'am. I did. I wanted to use that thing as a frisbee.
Yeah. Throw the computer out the window.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah.
There's nothing more frustrating than when you're all set, you got things lined up, you know what you're doing, and then the tech fails you in some way, shape, or form. It's very frustrating, but it is something that's going to happen, because it does happen. It happens to me. It'll happen, probably sometime down the road again to me. But it is great that as we share these experiences like yours, Marina, we then know, what it's like. You can come out on the other side.
Yes.
You can see beyond this and realize that, it's all kind of an illusion. It's just something for you to look at. And you did. So, yeah.
Totally. And
you come out the other side.
Exactly. And so you guys, because this is such a fabulous community, I hope that most of you would keep in touch with each other, communicate with each other outside of just the chat, so that you can access that support system when you have those days where it's like, yeah, the only words that come to my mind all have 4 letters and generally start with the letter F and just go on and on and on, to know that there is someone that you can who can listen to what you have to say without judgment.
Sounding board. Be your sounding board.
Be the sounding board. And so
and another great way to really connect to everyone in the community is to take these classes that Marina offers, that I offer, or anyone else, not just us, because you actually get in there like on Zoom and you see everyone and you spend time together. You can develop those relationships in a more intimate way, where you can email each other and really support each other, which is great to have that kind of community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really true. And it helps you move through things, to have that sounding board, and to even, what do you think about this? Bounce things off people.
And more than anything else, you realize you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not alone. It took me a few days to, and I said to Val earlier, the message that I've been getting the last day or so is physician, heal thyself. I'm very good at being able to explain to other people how to move past things and beyond things and so on and so forth. And yet, when faced with the same thing, what did I do? I just boom right down to that 3D. I don't know what to do.
Well, I can't say that I've reacted differently myself. So, yeah, I have yet to come through one of those big tech things and have handled it in a beautiful way. So I will try the next time to to handle it with step by step, calmly, and just let it work itself out. It will get worked out, and believe that it will. And
And I, years and years and years ago, I don't want to tell you how many, but I have a wonderful doorstop that used to be a laptop.
Oh God! Exactly. And that's why, that's the level of frustration where, when it is just, you just want to throw it to the window. I got to the point where I did not want to see my old computer anymore. I didn't want to see it. Yes. I put it in a drawer and I bought a new one. I am never touching that thing. My husband said, "Are you sure you don't want this?" And I'm like, "No, I never."
I'm going to take it outside and,
let's get a hammer and beat it.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm so done.
We're so done.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So
you guys, yes, Linda, love Arthur's sense of humor. That
it always cracks me up.
He does.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. Good sense of humor.
Anyway, well, I think, we've kind of, we
really have run the gamut with this one. So
yeah.
I hope you all, really received our message about being able to realize that when something happens like that and we go into this kind of thing, that it's not real and that you are going to come out of it. So to stay in that calm center, it's going to be very enlightening to try and do it that way, to choose to move through whatever's occurring in a very cohesive way, heart, mind, cohesion. So, and in fact, Venus was in retrograde. I think it's out of retrograde now. So, or the 15th, something about the 15th of April. Anyway, so there was Mercury and Venus both in retrograde at the same time. Yeah, we're out of it. Yeah, we came out of it.
And I had started to say something, and then like the squirrel. Anyway,
I know mine. Squirrel.
Yeah. Many years ago, there was a televangelist named Robert Schuller.
Yes.
And every once in a while, he would say something that kind of, stuck with me. And one of the things that he said was, people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. And I was again reminded of that to, now that I kind of have a better sense of what my default kind of thinking is, to say, okay, don't wait till there's a turmoil.
You want to go drop down into the emotional center of it. And you want to stay in that intellectual, because that's so you all figure yours out, and where's your default. If it's the emotional, stay up in that intellectual, go step by step. If it's the intellectual, you're probably okay for a problem like that.
Just don't start pressing buttons.
If you're in the moving center, you're going to want to just press buttons and just try anything. That's kind of probably not so hot either. If you're doing things with tech, it's better to stay in that logical center when you're in those kind of situations. But that will keep you out of that, going down that rabbit hole of 3D, woe is me, all of these things that we go through.
So there you go.
So anyway, I think that'll get your ducks in a row. That's right, Arthur. Well, get your ducks in a row. Know your coping strategies to handle this. Absolutely, because that is what we're talking about in the future, coming up now. All this intense energy and how we react to things, and for others being a calm port in the storm for everyone else as well, is going to keep us in that joy, that delight that Marina got in her sacred geometry cards.
Yes.
Joy, that delight. that energy of creativity, that feeling, that joy of everything. That's delight. So hoping all of you stay in that beautiful energy. And Marina, do you have anything else before we sign off?
No, that's it. Except, thank you to each and every one of you for joining us, and to those of you that you're here every week. You support us every week, and we always say thank you. But I want you to understand that we really mean thank you. We appreciate each and every one of you being here and sharing your energy with us. We share our energy with you, and we're going to make it to the other side. We really truly are. and when we get there, we'll have a drink and go, well, that was a hell of a ride.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
And Arthur's saying it passed like a kidney stone, but it passed. I mean, exactly. That's how painful it can be.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I love, remember, even if you were here for a minute, thank you for being here.
Yeah, you can catch us on the replay. Absolutely. This will be good. And there is that short calibration meditation hooking you up to that heart-mind coherence, which is really what we're talking about, that staying in that space where you're going to remain in that calm center. So Marina, thank you for being my co-host. I can't tell you how delighted I am to have you on this journey with me.
Me too. Me too. It's like
and how much I missed you when you weren't on the other show. You only missed one, so that's pretty miraculous. More, I have to count my lucky stars for that. And
thank you, Val. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing this.
Oh, and Marina, do you have anything coming up that you want to highlight for people?
You know what? Later on this evening, I'll be on Sherry's channel, and it's the Golden Girls Coffee Clatch. So join us for that. Yeah. Don't forget the big thing on April 26th. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be the 6th Shine Your Light event. And so, if you haven't joined us for that in the past, please plan on joining us. It is 4 hours literally of just being uplifted, feeling good, sharing everyone's energy, and you get to physically participate in something where you can at starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then as we hit 7 o'clock going west, we ask you to turn your porch light on, put a lamp in the window, do something to kind of shine your light, right?
Viviani's saying, wow, 6. Is it number 6? Holy cow. That's a lot of shine your light you've done.
So, wow. It's absolutely fabulous. And so, I hope that you will join us for that. And otherwise, that was kind of the big one. Tomorrow I'll be on Cool Crone for the Cool Crone readings. And then on Monday, I'm on Allie's channel for Letting Spirit Drive. So, and you, Val, what have you got coming
up? Tomorrow again, I'll be on the Cool Crone for the Cool Crone Oracle with you, Marina, and also at Sun Psychic Jean at 11:30 p.m. Pacific a.m. I always say p.m. because I don't get up in the morning, folks. There's only p.m. on my calendar. No, this is 11:30 a.m., folks. It really is a.m. So for Sun Psychic Jean, we're going to talk about awakening or something in that genre. And on Monday, the Mystic 4 will do that at 4 p.m. on Gerald's channel, Tarot Stash. And also I have coming up Arthur on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Yay! 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight.
Yes.
So,
and that one is PM.
that one, yeah, that's the 16th, Wednesday the 16th, coming up. So look for that. I'm excited to have that. So we'll see you all, like and subscribe, Heart Centered Tarot. Go to Marina's heartcenteredtarot.com, sign up for readings, book classes, blah, blah. And Dragonfly Crystals, same. Dragonflycrystals.store.
Absolutely.
And so we want to thank you for joining us today and sharing your beautiful energy with us, because we do this show for you. And this is what we're here to do, according to the Messages for Lightworkers guides who control us. Like,
yes, totally.
Anyway, not in a bad way.
No.
But thank you, everyone.
See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye.